Buwitiweyu, Usakasakabo, Buenos dias, good day. My name is Elba, aka Phoenix Taino, and welcome to my Wakfu walkthrough.
This is a voiceover because I did not realize that my mic was muted the entire time. So, to pick back up with the Archaeosologists and the Sunken Temple, we are back in Sophokia, and the next mission is to find Milo Chach, who is this guy up here. Oh, I see you finally got the 3 Orichalcums. Yes, the last one was part of the personal collection of somebody. It can't have been easy negotiating this last orichalcum. Now that you're here, all we have to do is risk it all. If my analyses are correct, you just need to place the orichalcum in the holes in the door. They should discharge all their energy to open it. So that's what we're gonna do. Go and open the temple door. I'm right behind you and the others too. Here we go. Open sesame. All right. We are going to click on the door. Fun cutscene. Ooh, pretty lights. Okay.
5 minutes later.
At this point, oh, that's right. I don't have all the emotes on this account, and we need quite a few different ones to be able to get through this temple. So we're gonna we're gonna start hunting for these emotes real quick. First, we gotta go to the celestial island of Re. Now, here there are 2 emotes that you don't either automatically get and are not given to you after completing a quest. The first one is over here, the sleeper safe. So once you right click on it, your character will automatically go there. And boom, I just got the yawn emote. Then across the way, also kind of hidden behind some clouds and stuff. No, not that one. Over here. This. So we're gonna like stand over here and go all the way across. Hover our mouse and boom, the ill-educated safe. And now we have the pointing emote. That isn't one we're gonna need for this quest, but better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it, right?
Many minutes later.
Okay, now we're at Astrup Cemetery after double checking and making sure that the only 2 emotes we needed from Bree are the ones from the safe or the chests. And now, if you follow the wall around Astrup City, there will be doors such as this that you can go into, and the majority of them have a chest, just like this one. Now we got the angry emote, which is one we're definitely going to need, and we're going to keep following the wall around Astrub. And that's just to make sure that we don't miss any doors. Down here by the port, there isn't a wall, so we're just going to cut straight across and go to the next area where I know there's going to be a door. So we're just going to pass the handyman crafting area and just keep going straight. I know one of these houses towards the northeast-ish of Astrup City has a chest in it, but I don't remember if it's this way. No, that's the bank. So let me turn around. Maybe this house? I know it's 2 next to each other, like this one and the one. No, it's probably this one. Aha! All right, so a chest, and now we have the crying emoji, which we definitely are going to need. And then I think the rest of the ones we're looking for aren't even in a house. But if memory serves me right, we need the sit emoji, which is one we automatically get. We need the bow emoji, which is one that we get after completing a quest on Re. The clap emoji, the laugh emoji, the cry emoji, an angry emoji, and a yawn emoji. Those are all the ones we're going to need for Octopodas' temple. Meanwhile, I'm just covering all my bases here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure ain't no more houses with chests in them. But to be sure, I could always check every house. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that right now because I know the rest of the emotes that I need are probably in a wall somewhere, not a house. But I guess we'll find out, won't we? Most of the doors that are on the like wall of Astrub City are closed. They're not like kind of ajar like the ones. Oh, see? This is one that's ajar. The one that we're looking for looks like this over here. This door. See how it's like completely shut? These are the ones that more likely than not will have a chest in them. Okay, that's a reading emoji. We're not going to need that one, but hey, I'll take it.
Moments later.
Now we're passing the EcoFlip portal to go back to the southwest side of the Astrub City wall because there's a door that I'm pretty sure I missed because it was covered by a bunch of Christmas trees, which at this point is getting kind of annoying. Because I know Santa wants us to plant a bunch of Christmas trees, but people are putting them blocking like wells and doors and stuff. So I'm just gonna have to chop some of these trees down real quick. This is gonna take a minute, guys. I'm sorry. They didn't do us the courtesy of making us plant trees that don't take for fucking ever to chop down. And after this one, I can probably stop. But knowing me, yeah, no. We're gonna make sure this door is cleared and visible. Look, my mouse is even hovering over it. Let me just go. All right, and now we have the clapping one. We definitely needed that one, so I'm glad I doubled back and made sure because I knew there was a door along this wall before you get to that one area where there's like a dungeon that only opens for events. Not Morphor's dungeon, the other one in the cemetery. We literally passed it earlier in the video. Hopefully, though, the mini map on my screen helps you guys see, but here, let me just make it bigger. So my little person is the green one. That way you can like, oh, okay, she's here on the map and figure out where I'm at because I did cut this a couple times. I'm pretty sure we've already installed some SpongeBob clips like 2 or 3 times already. I just didn't want you guys stuck watching me wander around Astrub is all. That's all. It's for you. Yeah. We're gonna... That's my story and I'm sticking to it. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now what? I'm gonna have to wait Well, I could probably go back to the Sunken Temple and then just have hubby meet me there. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. There may or may not be another SpongeBob clip coming up shortly. Because if I know my husband, it ain't gonna be no like 2, 3 minutes. Because we're both the same way. Where like once we're like, oh, okay, there's this thing I've been neglecting to do for a minute, like update armor or what have you. Um, we'll take the time to go ahead and do that. Sometimes at the most inopportune time, but we're we might be in the middle of a dungeon like, oh shit, I could have been updating my armor and totally forgot, or I've leveled up like 4 times and didn't update my characteristics yet. So go ahead and take the time to do that. Hint hint, nudge nudge, if it's something that, if you've been following along, you've been watching me do potentially and have not been, keeping up with yourself. I know it's a lot to remember. Like, go to the temple scriptures and pray at the almanac's altar and right now we got the Christmas event, so there's an advent calendar task every freaking day. But yeah,
More moments later.
we officially have all the emotes we need, so now we're back at Octapolas' Sunken Temple, the Flooded Gallery. Because we've already done this before, we know that the first emote that we're going to have to use is to bow. But if you're not sure what you need to do, you would just talk to the characters around each tentacle. It seems that this temple was reserved for genuine followers of Octapodas. Penetrating its depths require practicing a very specific ritual, performing gestures by positioning oneself where the god instructed. I wonder if these tiles, so that lets us know, okay, we need to stand on the tiles, clearly. Or maybe it's not clear, but now you know. And we're going to bow here in the middle. The tentacle lights up, bridge comes down, we can go into the next room. And again, all you need to do if you're not sure is talk to the people that are standing by the tentacle. Sometimes talking to one, you figure it out. Sometimes you need to talk to all of them. So the sound of hands should not imitate the lapping of the waves, but remind the enemy that Octapodas will trigger a tidal wave. So here we're going to clap. We're not sure where we need to stand though, so I'm gonna try here. Okay, I don't know why the emotes are looking like this now. I'm just gonna open from here. Alright, so because that didn't do anything, I must be standing on the wrong tile. Logic would dictate. So let's talk to this guy. When they present themselves on the balconies on the right, the champions of Octapodas receive applause from fans before heading into combat. So we gotta stand on this tile. Now it should work when I clap. I don't know why I closed that. Knowing good and well I'm gonna need it again. And you know what? This is how you know it's a voiceover. Because what? Celebrating Octapodas is a party. His servant must thank him by being overjoyed, but he must do so as far away from him as possible in order not to disturb his watchful sleep. So, Octapodas is right here. And that means to be the first away from him, we need to be on the tile all the way to the left. And we are overjoyed with laughter. That's the emote we needed here. So you're starting to see, hopefully, why it is that we went out of our way to make sure we went to Re and Astrub and got all of these emotes down here. Okay. Wait, that just lit back up. What is going on? Anyway, let's talk to Amelia here. Do not be afraid of letting weakness take over, because doing so is to give Octapodas a gift of the salt water of your own body. By linking it to the great ocean, performing this ritual as close as possible to Octapodas ensures you'll have a calm day. So all the way to the right, and we're gonna cry. Ta-da! Okay, we have some more to activate here. There's this one. And the hint, the young follower is free to express his anger as much as he wants to. Okay, that's straightforward. But only if it's centered on himself. There's no room for quarrels, so we're going to stand in the middle. Okay, how come the others lit up but not that one? Interesting. Whatever. We're just gonna hopefully keep this window open. Nope. I'm very much, if you can't tell, the kind of person that like on their phone will clear all the browsers and you know what I mean? Like I don't have the little red bubble on top of everything that drives me crazy. That says I need to sit down, so over at that tentacle, that's what we're going to do. But here, Octapolas is feared to his people, but nonetheless, to express your obedience, you should demonstrate that he is feared more than anything, but without fleeing because his anger is recognized. Okay, so we're going to stand right in front of him in the middle and angry emote. I think it's called something else though. What is the official name? When I hover over it, it'll show eventually. No, not yet. Okay, we're gonna go here. Wrong way. Oh, the other one was angry. This one is be scared. Just kidding. I was testing you to make sure you're paying attention. That's what I was doing. Okay, I need to sit down. I need to sit down next to the coral reef, I believe is what it says. Because that's what we had to do. So, if the faithful need to express their tiredness, may they do so far from Octapodas, who suffers no slackers. This is why we needed the yawn emote. And I'm still closing that damn window every time. Knowing I'm gonna need to open it right back up in like 2 seconds. So the reef is closest on the right. That's how we know to sit here. I'm clearly having an ADHD moment. ADHD, if I'm going to be as accurate as possible. Child, just sit. What are you doing? You don't even need all these emotes anymore. I mean, you can still use them. You know what, matter of fact, I do believe I still have them organized like that. If I were to log in right now. There I go, closing a window I'm gonna need to open back up in 0.5 seconds. Okay, everything's lit back the fuck up. Even though I'm not gonna need these emotes for the temple anymore. At least we got that out of the way, I guess. Okay. We sit. Here comes everybody to cross the bridge. I don't know why they have Amelia designed like that. She looked like an old lady with a bad back. The way they have her, like, ass out. It's crazy to me. Y'all did her dirty, Ankama. I'm pretty sure at this point I was waiting for hubby. But we were like discussing how we couldn't see each other in the temple and that there was a very strong possibility that we would have to do certain things on our own. So I just went ahead and started fighting this guy. Because it's just him. Well, so much for that challenge. I said don't use earth. I hate when it's like don't use the one element that your enemies are weakest to and would be the most advantageous for you to use. No, don't use that. It's like, you know what? That's what makes it a challenge. Ooh. Oh, that's a new spell. Vicio Imperium. I just remembered about it rewatching this. Because I'm very much, you know, don't go chasing waterfalls. Please stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to. And I'm not used to that spell, so I don't know what's gonna do. Now is not the time to experiment. If you don't know this already, though, should you need to test out things and not want to do it in an anxiety induced state, because even if you are fighting lower level monsters like the Bao Miaos or the Wodents, it's still timed. They can still attack you, you know what I mean, after your turn. So, watch. Or watch it. I don't know, I can't tell. To go further in this temple, you'll have to take that whirlpool thingy. I hope that you're not afraid. Well, the current seems very strong. But those who don't jump won't gain anything. Let's go. Okay, girl. She's ready to risk it all. In real life, I would not be this brave. I think this current might be too strong. Yeah, she took her ass into that current. So that's what we gotta do. Owie, apparently that hurt. We're going to need a submersible. Okay, so we gotta get out of here. And I believe hubby meets up with me. Yep. All right. So here we're going to talk to Milo Thatch that this is the Sophocles submersible hangar. We shouldn't have any problem finding a vessel to take us through the rift we saw beneath the temple. What an immense hangar. Sure, it's enormous, but that allows it to welcome ships coming from all different nations. It gives us the option to... Hey, I found the boat. Really is the cheapest in the hangar. Who wouldn't jump at an opportunity like that, I guess? Are you sure that this boat is trustworthy? It's not enough just to look at the lowest prices. It's certainly trustworthy, I think, and most of all, something, come on, don't miss this opportunity. Okay, so, well then, let's go have a look at this flea bag. There is no way that I am aware of to date to bypass having to pay all of these people. So we're going to talk to the Fleabag captain, this little cat guy right here. Hey, cabin boy, does my vessel tickle your fancy? Would you like to go on a little ride? I'll offer you the most attractive price in the hangar. Are you sure your ship floats? I mean, look, it is a little sus. Just try it and find out, but I assure you it's very solid. It's good recovered wood, and you won't waste your money for nothing. It's 100 commas ahead, but hey, you seem nice, so I'll give you a deal on the trip. 500 commas for your whole group. Well, if you guys say so, or if you say so, 500 commas it is. And it's time to battle. And I remember hubby and I being excited that we were actually in the same place this time and we could help each other. Because that's the point. I mean, I reckon you gain more experience if you fight by yourself, but it's a lot easier to get through things when, at least the first time, so you don't end up having to do a battle like 2 and 3 and 4 times, if there's somebody else there to, like, help you. Also, when you're playing on Rubilax, you can add your sidekicks. I'm not sure why we haven't, but we tend to remember about our sidekicks when we're doing dungeons. Or if we like go into a battle and get overwhelmed and it's like, man, we got our asses kicked. Oh, wait, We didn't even bother with our sidekicks. We should try with them next time. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and be quiet while this battle progresses. Finally. Well, I would have wasted my time and my money. Thank you, Labak. What a great idea. This wooden crate is completely useless. It doesn't even, I don't know, there's nothing to do but return to the hangar. So, not taking that boat. Now we're going to go to the next person, this Bork guy over here. If you're looking for a submersible, a real one, my vessel, the Smash Skull, is the best on the market. It can reach the deepest of the oceans. How does it go underwater? Nothing could be easier. The Smash Skull floats using multiple buoys filled with air below its hull. Once we're ready to leave, my crew will pierce all these buoys and presto, the Smash Skull will abruptly sink. And it comes back up how exactly? Nothing could be easier. Before boarding, you must acquire a diving license. Once you have this license, my men will kit you out in a diving suit, and all you need to do is come back up to the surface. At least this training will be useful to me later. Sure. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. The game is going to make you do diving a couple of times. Go down this ladder. To get into the hangar swimming pool, it's 700 commas for a diving license and to hire a diving costume. Okay, take your 700 commas. It's this ladder here. Come on. So here, you're not going to have to worry about fighting anything. It's just a matter of counting steps and timing things with these like jets over here to my character's left. So this not porcupine, what's it called? Urchin looking thing. You have to stay 2 steps away from it, or if you get poked by it, it's going to put you right back to the last spot you were in. We have 4 movement points, so let's see. If I go that way, I will be too close. We're about to see what I said in action. Yep. And these like blue spirals that I'm standing on are air bubbles. Because we only have 4 turns that we can do without getting more air before we end up passing out, basically. Okay, so first step is move 1 square to the side, then forward, and then you can get to the next air bubble. Now we're going to stand here and pick up the item. I don't have any more movement points. And now that I have the item, instead of 4 movement points, I only have 3. And it's going to be like this every time you do a diving type situation. Now we are close enough to this air bubble. We've refilled our air supply and we have 4 turns until the next time we need to get to an air bubble or get back to the surface. So we can really only move these 3 spaces. And I'm just paying attention to these 2 jet things because they alternate which one will have water flowing out of it. And while you stay on the air bubble, you're good. So you can skip as many turns as needed and not have to worry about, oh, I've just wasted a turn. We want to do this because then when it comes back on, boom, the other one's off so we can walk across. And we did it. Simple enough. Well, I have good news and bad news. The good news is that you have your diving license. The bad news is that the Smash Skull has a technical problem. Our submersible's water tightness needs to be reviewed, so we're in maintenance and can't accept anyone on board. Come back next time. If there is a next time. Basically, we're going to end up having to leave here and go talk to another character who is a Fuggernaut, the same class that my husband is currently playing as. Captain Noddler at your service, interested in my vessel? Oh, yes. This seems like the sub I'm looking for. Oh, you'll pay nothing but a trifle to enjoy a trip on board my Nautilus. What's that about? Let's see. I've heard about a source of powerful energy called Orichalcum. If you bring me 3 of them, I'll be happy to take you where you want. The Orichalcums? I can't give them to you. Well then, bring me some cloudy mooger milk. You'll find some in the pastures of Amachna. I'm almost all out, and I have to make the final preparations to the Nautilus for our departure. I'll bring back your cloudy mooger milk as soon as possible. So he mentions where we need to go, Amachna, and that's exactly where the cloudy mooger milk is. However, we need to do a dungeon run, basically. The mooger dungeon, and we have to do it at dungeon level, meaning that if we were above the dungeon level, we would need to be able to mod down. I believe the dungeon level for this one was 50, so we're good as is.
Much later.
Okay, we're back from yet another extended break time, I guess, just waiting on each other to go through armor and stuff in our haven bag and blah 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 blah, right? Boring shit. So we skipped all that. We are now to the southwest-ish area in Amachna. So like if you're at Sherbury Fields, which we've been to before if you've watched previous videos, then to the west of that, you know what I mean? You will find the Mooger Dungeon. It's between Sherbury Fields and where the Archaeosologist dig site is. So, another way you could tell where I'm at would be to look at the mini map on the screen, and you can see me there. But open your own map and just kind of the dungeon that's to the southwest-ish, that's the Mooger one. And because we're on the Neo server, you are seeing the Neo version of this dungeon, which has basically the same mechanics as the OG, with the added, corruption orbs that you kind of have to take out. And the more that are out and active, the higher the resistance on the monsters are, and the higher their damage that they inflict is. So that's why it's one of those things where it's like, okay, then we need to make it a point to take out as many of these corrupted areas as possible or neutralize them or what have you, just so that it's not as difficult to defeat all of the monsters and get to the next level. So here we go. Oh man, I just realized that all of my husband, all of his poop jokes and my poop jokes in response to his poop jokes and stuff are missed since I'm having to do a voiceover. But yeah, there's definitely poop around the border, and then the cows will poop after their turn. I believe the white ones and no wait, the brown ones poop, and then the white ones have like little flies that they can summon. And then you have to step on the poop to make its like area of effect go away. See, there we go. He has dropped a deuce. And I don't remember the exact effects it has, but basically, you don't want to be sitting in his poop mist. It's kind of, intuitive, I feel like, but just in case. It needed to be said, it's been said. Okay? Okay. Oh, I don't recall if I mentioned either, but we are doing this dungeon at a stasis level 1 because that's all we need to be able to, complete the objective for this. We're going to need a bigger boat quest. And hopefully you guys caught that reference. If not, watch Treasure Planet, okay? Highly underrated movie. While we're at it, another highly underrated movie is Robots. It's that one is funny as fuck. I feel like it's wholesome. And I mean, it's got Robin Williams in it. How can it not be a good movie? You know what I'm saying? I don't recall what challenge it was that we just failed to complete, but as per usual, whenever we are running through a dungeon the first time to complete a quest, we usually don't even bother with stuff like that. The Mooger dungeon and some other ones are repeatable, so you can always go back and try and complete challenges and even mod down so that you can increase the experience you get, especially if you're modded down, and increase the stasis level of the dungeon when you go in. These are just ways to A, increase your experience, and B, get achievements that, again, give you experience. If you are playing on Rubilax, Neo Rubilax, whichever one, definitely work on your sidekicks. I looked it up, and any sidekicks that you played with on the free trial basis, if you were to ultimately go and purchase said sidekick, all the experience that they've gotten, you'll be able to pick back up basically from there with said sidekick. And I'm seriously considering spending some real life money on this game. We did it! Okay, this is a 3-room dungeon. We are now in room 2. And definitely, I would say make it a habit whenever you go through a dungeon, especially your first run, to check the equipment that you receive because, especially if it's your first run, chances are the drops are going to be higher level than whatever it is you got on. And as you're going through it, you can improve your chances of making it to the next room and actually beating the dungeon. I'm just waiting on my hubby at this point. I'm not pausing because I want to make sure to capture everything through this dungeon, capture our entire time in here anyway. And I've already used like 4 or 5 SpongeBob time cards. I don't want to overdo it. All right, here we go. I'm literally over here just moving characters around and stuff because, like, only my husband can move his, but if I put one of my characters in the same spot as my husband, it swaps them so then I can move. So, literally, hubby is just like, I don't care. I'm just gonna, like, you move whoever you need to move, and then we'll go from there. And then after I move everybody, if he's like, you know what, now that you're set it up this way, I think I'd rather be over here. Yeah. And sometimes, like, he'd be telling me, hey, you should go over here, do that, or whatever. And you guys can't hear it. So I promise it's like, it's mutual. Like, I know you guys can only really hear me be like, go over here, you should do this, or what have you, but like, it is mutual. Like, I communicate with him, he communicates with me. And, what's the words I'm looking for? There's a saying, there's communication and comprehension. Boom. That's what I was going for. And I'm sorry for like any weird background noise being heard and then no background noise being heard. That's probably just when I mute my mic to grab a sip of my drink or munch on some food while I watch this video back and do this voiceover for whoever's watching. All one of you. Every time these cows drop a turd and fart or whatever, it makes me giggle. Um, the my inner child is made happy with this game just as much as teen me and adult me. Every version of me enjoys this game. I don't know what hubby doing there, but he did it. Anyway, stepping on the poop to get rid of it. Gonna get closer to neutralize that orb, it looks like. Oh, maybe not. Said, fuck that cow. First of all. Yeah, might as well pick up that fucker. Then neutralize the orb. Look at me go. Being strategic and shit. Ew. And here is the last room. You can tell who the boss is. Especially like in the Neo server. He's got the bigger horns. But on the Neo server, his eyes are all glowy and shit. Oh, we got some new boots. She looking cute. Katrina, 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 Katrina. Okay. Okay, I remember what we're doing. He wanted the breastplate and then he made mention of a ring, so I asked him about it. And he said that he had gotten one already. Because he pointed out that I had gotten one, so I thought, like, oh, maybe that's something he would want, because I'm not going to use the ring. But he said he already got one. I don't know how much longer it's going to be before we start playing, but... There we go. Hallelujah. Look at all the orbs. Bro's got a bunch of glowy orbs floating all around him too. I do that fire move because I noticed that whenever I use the light, it'll say light and then fire. So that way I can maximize. I think I haven't done it, but I think whatever spell I do before I use the light, that element will be the one that gets the boost. So when I use the light, it'll just, like if I had done a water spell before, then the light would have counted as a water, but still done a lot of damage. I'm gonna have to test this theory out. Like, I'm experienced in the game, but I'm not like seasoned in this game. Like, I still got plenty more to learn. Holy freaking orbs. There's so many! Now that I think about it, I should probably look up if there's like a set amount that come out in these dungeons. I'm sure there's a pattern. I know it's usually at least 2 at a time. Two new ones per turn, but I haven't paid attention if that's always the case or if the boss summons like a bunch at a time and then I don't know. It just occurred to me that because we're playing on Rubilax, that if you happen to be playing on Ogress, which doesn't allow for sidekick play, you're going to want to for sure be a good 10 levels above the dungeon minimum, and if you still can't get through it, see if you can't like get a party or group together to run through it at least one time. I mean, it doesn't hurt to just stand at the like whichever dungeon it is you're trying to do, just stand in front of it and type LFG looking for group in the chat and go from there, really. You know, while I'm at it, let me go ahead and plug my Discord because on Ogress, on the historic Ogress server, we have, my husband and I, a guild called Bohio Opia. Bohio for the first word, and the second word is Opia. And together they mean spirit house in Taino Arawak. So right now it's just 4 people. My husband and I, and then 2 folks that we recruited because the guilds, we got the ability to create the guild a while ago, but hadn't played for months. And my husband had a gem, so he created the guild. Well, he gave it to me and I created the guild. And then I got a gem, so on Rubilax, so then I created the same guild, right, for both Ogrist and Rubilax, the historical ones. So anybody who wants to join the guild, I'll try to remember to put the invite link in my bio. Not in my bio. Listen to me. In the description of this video. Maybe I should put it in my bio. Definitely in the description of the video, but I might put it elsewhere just so more people can find it and decide if they want to join and all that stuff. But yeah, shameless plug. Okay, I'm gonna mute myself again now. We're so close. He doesn't have much HP left. But he won't die. For the record, sometimes it is better to play without your sidekicks. They don't always provide an advantage, if that makes sense. Like, I like to use them simply because more often than not, they're another body on the battlefield, right? So everybody takes less hits overall when there's more people the enemies could attack. That being said, whenever you are fighting, they know like that it's they're clearly the monsters are programmed to know who the main players are, and so you are more likely going to be targeted over your sidekicks. And it also takes longer because now there's more turns between the allies and enemies before your main character gets another turn. And so if that character has, more powerful attacks and what have you, if they can manage to, get through a dungeon or whatever on their own without the sidekick, then sometimes if especially if you're trying to like run through a bunch of dungeons quickly, then you might not want to bother with your sidekicks. But here, there's your inventory, and then to the right, all the different images. You have like your weapons, your resources, as far as like, I believe like consumable items, and then, you know, wood and plants and whatnot. And all the way to the right, the key are items that you basically are automatically given, and you need it to be able to like go into certain areas in the game. So it's multi-use and all that, and because you need it, they basically are ensuring that you don't end up selling it or deleting it or whatever. So yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys. Like and subscribe. I hope the voiceover wasn't too annoying. If not, oh well, I can't really do anything about it. But yeah, see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye.